Today is the 22nd day of Israel's Protective Edge offensive. More than 1,300 Palestinians and 50 Israelis have been killed. Here in Baltimore today, there was dueling rallies, one pro-Israel, one pro-Palestine rally. We spoke to people on both sides.
I'm here in solidarity with the Jewish people of Baltimore, in solidarity with Israel, to support Israel against the terrorist attacks by Hamas, and also to make sure people understand Israel does want peace, but it has to defend itself. The innocent people are the people who are not Hamas. Hamas has brought this upon the people of Gaza by starting the war by lobbing the rockets. If they would stop lobbing the rockets, and if they wanted peace, I'm sure Israel would be very happy to make peace with the people of Gaza.
My name's Hakim Abu Khdeir, the cousin of the tortured, murdered, and burned alive Muhammad Abu Khdeir, cousin of Tariq Abu Khdeir, who was brutally and savagely beaten by Israeli police. My thoughts on the whole situation, there's a lot of things running through my mind right now. And when people say they have the right to defend themselves, I ask from what? Innocent children, women and children hiding in their homes, waiting to die from a bomb? It's ridiculous. We've come to an age in society where anything can happen, and those governing a nation sit back and watch injustice, inhumanity. We are protesting for humanity, for the people who have no voice in Palestine, in Iraq, in Syria, in Lebanon, and every other place on the world who has injustice, war crimes, just inhumanity in general. We have come to realize that if we don't speak for something, then we are no better than those committing the crimes against us.
We were just at the pro-Israel rally, and a lot of what we heard is that the people they're not anti-Palestinian, they're anti-Hamas. They're only going after Hamas. They do not target civilians. What's your response to that?
Hamas is not a terrorist group. Hamas is democratically elected in 2006 by the people in Gaza. They are not a terrorist organization if they are democratically elected.
I support Israel with military equipment, with financial assistance, because what we fight is not enough. And I think what Israel is doing now is somewhat supporting the American values by fighting terrorism. And just because of that, America should do more for Israel, because that will be a statement of fighting against terrorism.
The United States is doing more than enough to support the occupation of the Palestinian people, financially and otherwise. President Obama requested more than $3 billion in his budget, the 2014 budget, to support the Israeli military. And that's just his budget. There's other monies as well that go to the Israeli military and financing the occupation. I think more than enough is being done for occupation. We need more done for peace and justice for both Palestinians and Israelis. Occupation is not the avenue toward a just peace for everybody there.
Yesterday, around noon, I received an email from a friend of mine, Sarah Roy, at Harvard, and she described the killing, shattering of the body of another child, either who was in the playground or in Shifa Hospital, I can't remember which. And Sarah is a very sophisticated, refined, smart person, and she ended the email by saying, "I want to vomit." And that just resonated with me. No fancy words, no rhetorical curlicues. I want to vomit. And when I read that, I thought, it's time to do something more than just sitting in front of the computer, updating my website. I had to do something more. And so I said, all right, I'm going to go get arrested. And I just posted something on my website. I don't believe in individual acts of martyrdom. I like collective actions. I said, if we can get 100 people, then let's do it. We got 100 people, and we did it.
People complain and say, oh, this is not a balanced situation. None of the Israelis are getting killed. These very few Israelis, at least civilians, are being killed because the Israelis protect their civilians. Hamas launches their rockets from houses and apartment buildings.
They use human shields.
They use human shields.
We talked to the pro-Israel side today, and they said Israel is the victims. Hamas is using Palestinian children as human shields. What's your response to that?
Well, it's not my response. Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, the Middle East editor of BBC, they all said Hamas is not using human shields. Case closed. The U.S. Does everything Israel wants it to do. I can't imagine what they want. They want Barack Obama to volunteer to fight.
Do Americans have a responsibility for what's happening in Palestine right now?
The simple fact is President Barack Obama is the enabler of the massacre. Every day that he says Israel has the right to defend himself, he is the one that's making the massacre possible. That's the bottom line. If even one day he said something about Israel's killing of the civilians, it's deliberate, targeted killing of civilians, it would stop.
From The Real News, this is Jaisal Noor in Baltimore.